Hi everybody, this is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Today we're talking about food safety and thawing food. Many of us keep our food in the freezers for convenience and safe storage. We build up a good supply there so we have a little bit of food security along the way too. The problem can come when we go to use that food and our time is short. What do? It's frozen. I can't cook this because it's frozen. Some of the foods that we use, like frozen vegetables, can be prepared from a frozen state. But others, let's say a frozen casserole or a frozen piece of meat or a pack of chicken breasts, something like that, they're all lumped up together. They're going to be very hard to cook from that frozen state. What do? How do you thaw it out safely? The refrigerator is one option. Thawing food in the refrigerator is definitely a slow proposition, so you have to plan in advance, but it's a very safe way to thaw out your food. It's convenient and easy to transfer your food from the freezer to the refrigerator, and you can do this the night before. Let's say before you go to bed, you remember, or when you're done with supper, you remember, okay, tomorrow night I want to cook some chicken, and it's all frozen in a big package of 4 or whatever pieces, and so you want to take it out of the freezer, wrap it up really well so it doesn't leak any juices as it thaws, put it toward the bottom of the refrigerator so in case it does leak any juices, it's not going to leak on top of your salad greens, something like that. And then just put it in the refrigerator, go to bed, and the next evening it should be thawed out nicely for you, or at least thawed enough so that you can handle it. Thawing foods in cold water is another option. You can place a frozen food in a leak-proof plastic bag or container for fast thawing. It would be certainly faster than in the refrigerator. Submerge that bag into cold tap water, or just put it in a bowl, put your food in a bowl of cold tap water, and that water is going to get colder all the time as the food is thawing, so you want to change that water up every 30 minutes or so until it is thawed. And then you want to cook it immediately. You don't want to hold it for any length of time after that. You want to cook it right away after it's thawed, and then you can go from there. The microwave is another option for thawing foods. Make sure you follow the manufacturer's directions for thawing food in your own particular microwave. But bear in mind, it's very important to cook your meat or poultry immediately after microwave thawing. Otherwise, you may invite some foodborne illness if you try to hold that for any length of time. No matter which option you choose is best for you in whatever particular scenario is, it's really important not to simply allow foods to thaw at room temperature on the kitchen counter, okay? You don't want to do that because they're going to take some time to thaw, and that whole time they're exposed to the temperature danger zone. Room temperature is within that danger zone, 40 to 140 degrees, between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, or 5 and 60 degrees Celsius. You don't want to leave food sitting in that danger zone for any length of time. Why? Because the outer surface of that food is going to slowly warm up and be exposed to that temperature range. And if there's any bacteria lurking on there, they're going to say, oh yeah, I'm waking up, I am ready to go for it, and they're going to want to multiply and grow from there. And so even 2 hours, I would not even leave them out like that, sitting out for 2 hours. I just would not do it. I would use another option for thawing food. And whatever you do, you want to cook it as soon as it's thawed out and ready to go, so that you can prevent any foodborne illness. You just do not want to leave food sitting at room temperature for any length of time, to be on the safe side. Now, on the topic of thawing foods, what if you thawed out more than you need and you are tempted to refreeze thawed foods? not a good idea to refreeze any type of food that has been out of the freezer and at room temperature for 2 hours or more, even if it's plant-based food, but particularly an animal-based food. And now if it's a hot day and you don't have air conditioning and your house is very warm, like over 90 degrees or over, that's 90 degrees Fahrenheit or over 32 Celsius, it should not be refrozen if it's been at room temperature for even 1 hour at that temperature range. So you need to cook it. You just need to cook it. If the frozen food is an animal-based food or contains animal-based foods, like as in a casserole or a soup, it should not be refrozen. If it's been at that hot temperature for an hour or more, you should cook it or discard it, one or the other. But please do not refreeze foods that have been thawed out like that. If it's partially frozen and it has not been sitting out long, and maybe you've had it in the refrigerator to thaw and you've decided not to use it, you can still potentially put it back in the freezer, especially if it's been in the refrigerator. But I would not refreeze it if it's been sitting at room temperature for any length of time. Just, it's better to be safe than sorry. I do hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. Bye for now.